Hello and welcome to another exciting chemistry session. This is your host, Mr. Monson. Uh, we have come to the end of the language of chemistry series. So this happens to be our last episode in this particular series. So we're going to look at chemical formulas that involve nonmetals. Chemical formulas that involve nonmetals. So allow me to run you through some of the rules that we observe when we are writing or naming chemical formulas. So we're going to start by looking at the naming of these chemical formulas. So in chemistry, we're going to look at the meaning of some of the few prefixes that we encounter in the chemical formulas or in the naming of the chemical formulas. So we have a mono, that means one. We have a di, that means two. We have a tri, that means three. We have a tetra, that means four. So four in chemistry is a tetra. We have a pent, that means five. Hex, that means six. Hept, that means seven. Oct, that means nine. Non, that means oct, that means eight. Non, that means nine. And dec, that means 10. So I'm going to give an example of a compound that is N2, N2. So that is nitrogen 2, oxygen 5. So we can name this compound using these prefixes. So when we have a 2, we said a 2 in chemistry means a di, a di. So we are free to say a di. What element are we looking at? So we're looking at nitrogen. So you are free to say dinitro or dinitrogen. So we can say dinitrogen, dinitrogen, dinitrogen. So we have two nitrogens. That is the meaning. We have two nitrogens. Then how many oxygens? We have five. What is the meaning of a five? So a five means a pent. A pent. So we say dinitrogen pent. So we say pent, then oxide, oxide. So that is called dinitrogen pentoxide, dinitrogen pentoxide, or dinitro, dinitro pentoxide. It's one and the same. Let's look at the common, the famous CO2. So CO2 means you have one carbon. So what is the meaning of one? So one means mono. So you're free to say mono carbon. Then how many oxygen? So we have two oxygens. So we can say dioxide, which is commonly known as carbon dioxide. So a mono is not necessary. A one is not necessary. So this one is excluded. So it becomes carbon dioxide. But initially it's supposed to be called monocarbon dioxide. Monocarbon dioxide. We can look at more examples on this. Let me try to scroll down. So we have CCl4. We have CCl4. So CCl4 means that you have one carbon. So you can say a mono, which we said is not necessary. So we have to start from a carbon. So this is a carbon. So this is the mono is not necessary. So we can just say carbon. And how many chlorines? 4. What is the meaning of 4? So 4 is a tetra. So this is carbon tetra. Carbon tetra chloride. This is called carbon tetra chloride. Carbon tetra chloride. So because you have one carbon and you have 4 chlorine, 4 chlorines, so that becomes carbon tetrachloride. Let's look at more examples. So we have a P3Br2. So that is a phosphorus and a bromine. So we have 3 phosphorus. So what is the meaning of 3? So a 3 means tri. So that is triphosphorus. So we say triphosphorus, triphosphorus. Then how many bromine? So we have 2. So we say triphosphorus dibromide. So triphosphorus dibromide. So that is just basically the naming of these particular compounds. So sometimes they can give you a name and ask you to write. They give you a name and ask you to write. For example, we can look at 6, 7, and 8. So if you look at 6, 7, and 8. So trichloro tetrabromide. So trichloro. So this is the same as trichlorine. So meaning you have 3 chlorines, then tetrabromide. So tetra means 4, meaning you have 4 of the bromide. So this is the meaning. Dinitrohexoxide. Dinitrohexoxide. So dinitro is nitrogen. So you have 2 nitrogens. Then hex is 6. So hexoxide. So that is 6. Carbon trifluoride. Carbon trifluoride. So this means 1 carbon. Then 3 of fluoride, trifluoride. So basically this is what we call the formulas or the chemical formulas of non-metals. So they only involve non-metals only. So if you have NO2, so that is mono nitrogen dioxide, which is just commonly called nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide. So there are so many formulas of these non-metals that we can write, but this is just the rule that we follow. So this marks the end of the language of chemistry. If there are any questions, feel free to slot the questions in the comment section down below. Bye bye.